Why are so many people deciding to delete their Facebook profile? Most people were under the belief that Facebook was created as a way for people to connect with their loved ones. But could it be that there is a more sinister agenda behind Facebook, and that Facebook was never designed with the user's best interests in mind? We're going to dive deep into that in this video, and just so you know, this video is not going to be purely about data harvesting and privacy, because we all know by now that all of the information that we post on Facebook is being shared with third parties as a way of data harvesting for advertisers. That information is pretty well known now. The things that I want to touch on in this video are things that I haven't actually seen anyone talk about. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yolanda Melody. I recently decided to delete my Facebook profile. I now only have a Facebook page to promote my channel, but for so many months I'd been wanting to delete my Facebook profile, but there were a number of things that were stopping me from being able to do that. Because Facebook has actually got its claws into so many other apps. How many times have you went to sign up to something that you didn't really want to sign up to, but you had to have some form of login details, and it gives you the easy option of signing in with Facebook? Well, it's very clever how Facebook has done this. It tries to make it as difficult as possible for you to delete your profile by linking it with multiple other apps that you don't want to lose access to. But what I found recently was that all of these other apps have started to sever their link with Facebook because they know that so many people have deleted their Facebook profile. And let me tell you, when I finally did this, I felt like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. One of the main reasons why I did this was actually for personal security protection. So as we all know, in order to have a Facebook profile, you have to give a number of personal details about yourself, your date of birth, where you went to school, all of your previous workplaces, the location that you live, and those are just the basics. You then also have the option of sharing all of the events that you've been to, all of the pages that you've liked. Maybe you also post the venues that you like to go to, the coffee shops, the restaurants. And then Facebook also has its own directory of people that you're connected to and all of their personal information. See, this is what sets Facebook apart from any other social media. If you think about YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, they all have their flaws, but you're not asked an excessive amount of personal security details in order to have a profile. In my opinion, all of these other apps are more about artistic expression and content creation, entertainment. But for so many years, I looked at Facebook and I thought, it really is a public FBI directory. In fact, recently Facebook has gone one step further by even asking for you to verify your identity with a driving license or passport. Now, I know so many people will watch this and think, yeah, but my profile's private. So none of that stuff actually affects me because basically my whole profile is private. This is a hard truth that a lot of people don't want to accept, but anything that you post on the internet is not private. And trust me, I know even a few years ago, there are actually sites out there where you can type in someone's URL, and even if their profile is private, it can actually show you everything that is hidden. So it can basically make that profile public. The thing is, it's not just companies and corporations that are able to access all of this information, it's everyone on the internet. And the irony in the situation is that most people are blindsided by this because when someone posts something on Facebook, they usually have a certain audience in mind of who they want to see the post. For example, remember back in the day, I don't know whether people still do this, but remember when people used to post indirect statuses that were clearly aimed at someone that they'd fallen out with, but they post it public so that they can't be held accountable, and it's like, oh, who's this about? But they completely forget the fact that that status is being posted to everyone. And everyone's viewing that status, and depending on how nasty or salty the status is, you might actually find that you're offending people that you're actually really close with. Or you might also find that people think that it's about them when it was never. These are the things that people don't think about. Now, when someone gets a new car or they move into a new house, they want to share the news with their loved ones. They want to say to people, look how well I've done, look at this great achievement. And there's no problem in that whatsoever, except for this, that the people who are most interested in these finer details about you are the people that have bad intentions towards you. And I'm talking about specifically stalkers and criminals. I want to share with you a very shocking story that happened to someone that I knew. So this one time I was out at a bar with my ex-boyfriend, and there was a bunch of his friends there, and there was this one couple that had recently just moved into a house together. They had only just moved in together, and they were so happy, and we were all having drinks and everything was great. We were all out for a few hours, and then as it got late they said their goodbyes and they went back home. Within 30 minutes, my ex received this text saying, "We've been robbed." Obviously, this was so upsetting and so incredibly unfortunate. And you think to yourself, what are the chances of that happening? They've literally just moved into a new house together. And what, they go out for one night and they get robbed? Well, when they moved in together, they posted photos of their front door, where they'd moved in. Because they'd moved into a new house together, they were really proud of it, they wanted to share it with their friends, right? But then another thing that they did was, when we were all out drinking, they posted selfies of us all together and tagged the location. And it was that simple action that lost them thousands of pounds worth of stuff. See, the people who robbed them had been stalking their Facebook profiles for a while, and they'd been waiting for the perfect opportunity. And then boom, when they get a live update saying, hey, we're out here at this club, they took their opportunity. This story always stuck with me as a huge warning to be extremely careful what you post online. Now, I know that a lot of people might think, well, Yolanda, you're all over the internet. I am. But there's certain things that I will never share, and in order to know what those things are, you kind of have to think like a criminal. You have to think about the small bits of information that you can put together and what can you do with that information. Throughout this video, I will be giving concrete tips on how to stay protected when you're posting online, because I really don't think that people talk about this enough, and especially when people are looking to become content creators and to grow a platform, you have to be extra vigilant when it comes to what you share online. And I've seen a lot of YouTubers that get massive and they share certain things. One girl in particular had actually posted a video saying that she has a stalker and then talked about it on YouTube, which is rule number 1 not to do if you have a stalker. I shouldn't laugh because it's very serious, but it is ridiculous that nobody talks about this. Another thing that is going to probably make me very unpopular, but I have to say it, is that so many parents post photos of their children online, and I completely understand that when you're a parent, you're so proud of your children. Your children become your life. They are a part of you, and you want to share their achievements and maybe document their journey as they're growing up so that you've got that for you. Back in the day, people used to have private, personal photo albums, but now those photo albums are the internet. But when I say this, I'm saying it from the heart, and I know a lot of parents don't want to hear this, but you would be shocked at how many predators are out there. And these predators seek photographs of children. And they will search specific hashtags. On Instagram, there's these strange challenges that go around on people's stories where it says sometimes post the 4th photo in your camera roll, no cheating, or post a photo of you on holiday or your kids. And the thing that I find suspicious is who came up with this challenge, first off? When a challenge is created on Instagram, where does it come from? And second off, who's looking at it? I've brought up these points before with parents and it has never ever been received well. And I think that's why it's not commonly spoke about online, because you don't want to offend someone. However, I think it's worth offending someone if it prevents them from putting their child at risk. It is not our fault that so many evil people live on this planet. I myself am quite an optimist. I know it doesn't seem that way because I'm always pointing out problems, but I always say expect the best, but prepare for the worst. That to me is a good compass. And if when you're posting information online, you think of, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen if I post this? Or is there a way that I can post while actually keeping myself protected at the same time? That would be my recommendation. Also, I think to myself, what will I be gaining by posting this? And what am I risking by posting this? For example, posting information about where you've worked and where you went to school. For me personally, there is absolutely no gain whatsoever. And believe me, if people know this information, there's a lot that they can do with it. Even if people know your date of birth, they can do a lot with that information. Some of the things that I would be wary of is posting anything to do with your current location. If I was out at a restaurant or anywhere, I would steer clear of sharing your location at the time that you're out. You can always post after the event and it will have the same effect. But if you post that you are out somewhere and it's right now, again, just look at the story that I told you earlier. It's just simply not worth it. Also, if you do have a stalker, it's a red rag to a bull. If you move into a new house, here are a few rules. In fact, if you live at a house, here are my rules. You can follow them or not, but this is what I would do. If you were to post photos of your front door or the street that you're at, you may as well be doxing yourself. Because just those images alone can be enough for someone to find out exactly where you live. Now, another thing that I've noticed, which is a trend that's been going on for years, is people posting photos of their keys. It used to be like a aesthetic Instagram filler shot. I've seen a lot of these posted around the internet. You have to understand that criminals will go to such great lengths, and if you post a photo of your keys, that is one step closer to someone being able to clone them. Another thing that I think is quite obvious that a lot of people are already very wary of, but if you receive a package and you're excited about it, there's a lot of people that take photos of the package just as it is, and they forget to edit out the address that's on the parcel. I see a lot of girls who do try-on hauls, and it's a thing that they do where they grab the package and they show it to the camera. Again, I think that all of these things are planted as trends to screw people over. And that's just my personal opinion. You guys are probably very aware by now that I have a very conspiratorial mind. When it comes to children, one thing I would say in particular is be wary of posting pictures of your children in their school uniform, because this identifies exactly where they go to school. And there's another thing, just off the top of my head. If you are a parent with a Facebook profile and you have where you went to school listed on that profile, that can also be revealing where your children go to school, if they go to the same school that you went to. Another thing that many people do is, if you're posting a picture of your car, never include the reg plate. And finally, in general, if you think before you post and just have a review over what kind of details are on your Facebook, that can be a huge step towards you protecting your safety and your privacy. But for a lot of people, including myself, I just think there is literally zero enjoyment that I get out of Facebook. I never really liked the platform, to be quite honest, because I was there during the MySpace days, and let me tell you, MySpace was the best, okay? You could literally edit your entire profile and personalize it so much by using div codes. It had bulletin boards. MySpace was so much more of a creative platform than Facebook. To me, Facebook is what it says. It's an FBI book. If you want to stalk someone, the first place that you go is Facebook, and for me, it's just not worth it anymore. Let me know if you enjoyed this video, and if you have any more tips on how to protect yourself online, definitely comment them below. Like in all of my videos, my intention is never to offend people, but sometimes I have to deliver some hard truths that nobody else wants to say. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing, and a special thank you to every single person who donates to this channel. It really does help a great deal. Love you, bye!